bit about Daniel real quick. He coaches and trains on real estate sales, marketing, social media, advanced business strategies. We'll be going over a lot of advanced business strategies today. Daniel facilitated and presented at live events like with Tony Robbins, Chet Holmes, Steve Harvey, Jordan Belfort, and many more big names at that. These aren't just any people. These are world-renowned people that he's worked with, trained under, and has now been able to expand upon to his own style of teaching and expertise, which we love to see. Daniel will share innovative ways to take listings and secret social media strategies for this class. And some of the strategies that he broke down in the speaker spotlight were fantastic. We're going to see it expanded upon today. So we're very excited to have everybody. So with no further ado, Daniel, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for teaching this class today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Everyone, feel free to be interactive today. Feel free to unmute. One of my mentors taught me, that you'll make more money if you interact and take more action. So feel free. Let me ask you this. Who wants to learn how to do lead gen that leads to listings, completed transactions without endless cold calling? Anybody on board? Yes. Okay. I see Billy there. I love it. Okay, cool. Yep. So we're going to hop in. And of course, you always want to be gracious to your host. So again, thank you to Kevin, the YPN. Round of applause, please, for Kevin, the whole YPN. Amazing organization. Your social media content, I'm stalking it constantly. It's fantastic. The one with the football was great. It was fantastic. Self-deprecating humor works sometimes, right? That was great. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having us. Look forward to continuing to do some additional things with you. So you always want to have some fun. So this is the meme that I want you to think about when you think about those old pain in the butt clients after this training, because you'll be able to fire all or most of them. Anybody on board with that one? Yeah. Okay. Love it. Results disclaimer. This is not legal, tax, accounting advice. It's not medical, marital, or guru advice. You might have larger tax bills potentially. And client stories are shared and include clients that are committed and take action, not ones that just read the secret. So it's not a magic pill. Fair enough? Also, disclaimer, today is about adding value. There's no sales pitch today, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my offer here at the beginning. If you want, I'm going to give everyone today a bunch of bonus gifts because I really appreciate Kevin and the YPN. I don't think I've ever offered quite this many gifts, but I'll give you parts of our exponential real estate results blueprint. I will one-on-one help you book some listing appointments and get you some listing leads if you want. We have a surprise bonus gift and also part of our a LinkedIn luxury listings fast start guide. Just feel free to text 407-693-6297. Just like you don't want homeowners to take a photo of your ad. Again, I put something cheeky down here. Yeah, don't screenshot it. Just go ahead and do it now. We won't spam you, I promise. Sound good? Okay, let's jump in. So is anybody in this market, I don't know if anybody heard this. Did you hear there's a few people that are getting divorced and dying? Anybody hear about this? So there's a lot of things that do trigger real estate sales. And look, I'm not happy about people divorcing and dying, but I have to ask you, would anybody here be open to working with divorce attorneys or probate attorneys that would actually send you listings? Would anybody work with them as a referral partner? Okay. I have a friend, Laurel. She started in 2008. And is that a great year to start real estate? 2008? It's like, all right, right? So she wanted recession proof. So she actually got 115 listings last year from about 20 attorneys, that she's built relationships with. So I actually have a case study here we'll hit today from an agent I'm working with in Orlando. And here's the good news. South Florida has even more attorneys than Orlando. So if you want to work with high net worth, divorce, family law, estate, probate attorneys, again, can I just drop it in the chat just so I can get a rough number or raise your hand really quick? I'll take a look. Again, welcome. Look, oh, got a lot more people on here. This is awesome. Okay, cool. Let me just, okay. Yeah, we got some people saying yes. Colleen, Carolina. Okay, cool. Melanie, Jorge. Okay, cool. We're going to hit that. Love it. Thank you. Thank you for the high level of interaction. It does make a difference. Also, check this out. I don't know who's a TikTok fan, but if so, you might want to cancel me after this. Listen, where are all the high net worth luxury homeowners? TikTok or LinkedIn? Pop quiz. 80 to 90% are on LinkedIn. Okay. What was that old? There was an old meme. It's like, why doesn't Lamborghini have daytime TV commercials? Because people driving Lambos aren't watching. They're making daytime TV, not watching it. But who all here is on LinkedIn? Drop LinkedIn in the chat if you are. If not, I think you'll want to be by the end. You might want to download the app. But 80 to 90% of luxury homeowners are on LinkedIn. We're going to show you how to get introductions to them, not cold call them. And literally you can do this in about 8 minutes a day. No dancing videos, no craziness, even if you haven't logged on to LinkedIn in forever. Some of you want to hear that? Love it. Melanie, yeah, Melanie, Sandra, appreciate you. Awesome. Yeah, the LinkedIn, you can have the completely free version and it works fine, 100%. Here's another one today. I know real estate agents. I've heard a few of you don't like to pick up the phone a lot. I don't know, Kevin, I don't know if you've heard this, but anyway, who would like to get home sellers and homeowners and potential listings and referral partners to call you? That a boy? Yeah, I see some hands going up. All right. Yeah, looks like we're at a rave. Put your hands up for South Florida. All right. Love it. So we are going to hit that today. It's clickbait, but I promise you, stick to the end. We'll hit all of this. Okay, here's one of the things we updated today. Let me see if I can move my panel out of the way here. I appreciate the engagement, by the way. Who wants to get buyers and sellers that will work with you, result in completed transactions, regardless of interest rates, low inventory, and any other market conditions? Yes, I see. Okay, we're gonna break the internet with this one, Kevin, I think. Okay, cool. I'm seeing it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, no buyers. Yes, Andy. Well, listen, we're 99% listings focused. Here's why. Number one is if you want buyers more than sellers, then there's a class you can go to. I think the first step in the class is admitting we have a problem is the first step. I'm just kidding. I used to work in Norwegian Cruise Line in a past life. And one time I asked somebody, I was like, what's this Friends of Bill W meeting? They're like, Daniel, that's the AA meeting. Come on. Oh, okay. I'm just teasing. But if you do want buyers though, and before the before the NAR gets sued frivolously again, the best way to get your buyer leads is obviously going to be with having listings. Agreed? Can I get a yes? Okay, love it. So we will hit that here today. Wow, yeah, we're going to break the internet here. Okay, cool. See a lot of hands. So we'll start with something fun. You know what? I might actually skip it. I don't know. Anybody know who Ed Milet is? He's done a few trainings lately for some real estate companies. Yeah, he may have been out to yours. So he has this saying. He's like, any great story in life, there's a little bit of Jesus involved. And I'm going to, so my past, I don't know, 5 or 10 trainings I've done live, I've actually set listing appointments live. And I did one in, this was either in Boca or West Palm Beach. And what happened was I had somebody pull a list from, I believe we used the MLS or like Remind or Remind Pro to pull expireds. What we did was we sorted it and I found the phone number, found their LinkedIn, and I called them and I set like an $18 million listing appointment on the spot. For time's sake today, it isn't on my social media. I'm on Instagram at DFLEI7, so you can check it out there. But if it's okay for time's sake, I think we'll skip it. But if you reach out to me, I'll help you set a listing appointment. Sound good? Okay, cool. So, but stay after. Yeah, we normally queue some up after, but I would say just shoot me a text and we'll probably have to do it one-on-one unless Kevin has an interactive fun idea. Although we could try it. If you want to stay to the end, we could certainly try it. All right, so I am going to go very quickly. So you have a few options. You can listen quickly, or you could complain, but I don't think that's going to help you make any more money. So look, I believe that you will have some questions. Wow, we still got people popping in here. Okay. I believe you will have some questions. Feel free to shoot me a text. There's 2 types of agents that come out of my training. Top producers, they're like, that was cool. That was amazing. I'm going to go use that immediately. And then, the people in life that complain about everything. So I think with that YPN training, okay, I got to keep admitting people. That's a good problem. I think with this group here, I think you're going to appreciate it. And I think that we're going to, I think you're going to walk away with some strategies you can use immediately. If you need me to slow down, just drop in the chat, unmute, just let me know. But I'm going to go pretty quickly. As the great philosopher Lil Wayne would say, it's not that I'm talking too fast, it's that you're listening too slow. I'm just kidding. All right, we'll keep rocking here. And apparently I've just got to keep admitting people. So this is a good problem, I think. All right, breaking the internet here. Okay, cool.
Daniel, I'll admit the people. Just focus on teaching. I got it.
You're the man. See why I like this guy? So I like this guy. All right, cool. Kevin's the man. So quick request, focus is power. So I'd say unless you have a closing or a listing appointment, go ahead and throw your phone on silent or airplane mode. I promise to make good use of your time. Now, we're gonna have some fun and exciting strategies. We're gonna talk about the exponential real estate results blueprint. Before I start, I have a quick PSA. If you're young, you've probably never seen this logo before. I keep my hair short on the side, so you can't see my salt and pepper coming in, 41 this year. I guess I'll be, 42 next year. But anyway, we used to watch this when we were little kids, these little public service announcements. I have a quick one. I think you'll appreciate it, okay? Does anybody still get the extended car warranty calls? Drop in the chat if you do. It's like, yes, I have an extended car warranty. Yes. Okay. So listen, I heard this from the NAR. The number one unspoken complaint of buyers and sellers. Anybody guess? If you can guess, drop it in the chat. You'll get at least brownie points, if not something else. I'm guessing one of you know it. It's going to be that my real estate agent will not call me back, not communicate with me, right? That's the number one unspoken complaint. Okay. So here's my PSA. Your luxury listing, potential luxury listing or buyer or seller is not going to send you this meme. Cute. They're not going to send it. They're not going to send this one either. But if you're going to screenshot one thing in the whole training, that would be the one. If someone hasn't called you back in a week or two, I cannot tell you how many amazing baller VIP meetings that little dog has gotten me. Something special with that dog. So that does actually work. Here's the PSA though. Who's open to pick up the phone more? Even if you got 2 or 3 of like the extended car warranty type calls, but the 4th one was a buyer or seller. Wouldn't you be glad that you picked them all up? I call real estate agents, operating principals, brokers all day. Kevin's one of the few people that does. Shout out to Kevin, #respect. But I'm telling you, pick up the phone more, communicate with your clients, and we're gonna dovetail that to the end. Everybody open to pick up the phone more? Awesome. Appreciate it. Again, we talked about the bonus gifts. At some point, you'll want them. You'll see the phone number on each slide. Just feel free to shoot me a text. We'll get those over to you. So look, I think we've all saw a lot of lessons in life the hard way, right? So I did discover some things the hard way. Okay. And what's the definition of insanity again? Isn't it like doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? So does everybody want to see a slightly different way today? More of a variation on a theme. Okay. So if you're as old as me, you might remember a movie. It was called Wall Street with Michael Douglas, not the one with Shia LaBeouf. I'm talking like the original. There's 2 quotes in the movie I find really powerful. And they're not related to insider stock trading. We're going to relate it over to real estate. So here's what we got. I don't want to throw darts at a board. I only want to bet on a sure thing. Today's strategies, they're battle tested, and they are literally, we're only going to reach out to people that need to or want to sell their homes. Does that sound good? Yeah. Too many agents throw spaghetti at the wall and most of it slides to the floor, right? I see a lot of people entering. So welcome everybody who just jumped in. Now, so this is going to be a systematic approach. Everybody open to that? A systematic approach and gaining leverage and tools to gain listings. Okay. So that's what we're going to hit today. The second quote, which we'll come to in a moment, it'll be about halfway through, is Gordon Gekko says in the movie Wall Street, he says, information. It's the most valuable commodity I know of. So we're also gonna hit that today. Now, who has read either Think and Grow Rich or The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Drop down below, 7 Habits or Think and Grow Rich. If you have, looks like we got some yeses. Awesome. Okay, and we got a bunch of people entering. Okay, cool. We're over 60. Very cool. Welcome everybody who's on here. We'll do some Q&A at the end. Definitely hang tight. This is awesome. Okay, so here's where I believe most of the listings are going to come from in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Okay. The first one, most of you are probably not going to be excited about. Who loves expireds and FSBOs? Okay. Who hates expireds and FSBOs? Okay. Now, let me ask you this. What if we could get expireds and FSBOs to call you? Everybody be open to expireds and FSBOs calling you? That'd be great, right? Look, even if you could pick up 1 or 2 a year or add like 60 to 100 grand a year to your gross commission, would that be good? Stick to the end. I promise we're going to hit that. Next level. Okay. We're going to skip forward on that. Now, who remembers the movie The Pursuit of Happiness? I'm going to dovetail this in. Anybody remember it? Before Will Smith had to go and screw up all the great memories of all his amazing movies, right? Okay, we'll leave that alone. Okay. There's a little Easter egg in the movie that I feel everyone misses, but business people and entrepreneurs, I feel like we should have paid attention to it. Let me take a sip of water. Anybody guess what the Easter egg is in the movie? Like, what happens with Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness when he starts being successful on the phone? Anybody drop in the comments? Give you 2 seconds. Cue Jeopardy music. Do we have it? I don't see it yet. Here's what he did. Will Smith he instead of starting at the bottom of the list, he started where? At the top of the list. Okay. In life, I highly suggest you sort from high to low. It's a very simple thing, but I think there's one philosopher that calls it the elusive obvious, if I remember the quote correctly. Okay. So I want to give you an example here. both with the listing appointment that I set in South Florida recently for 18 million, I sorted the expireds from high to low. There was one that was like over 100 million, and I was like, that looks like an anomaly. So we went one or two down. You know, sometimes you want to just, you know, like 100 million, you might want to do some more research on before you call. But anyway, we called it and we got that one. Now, another example, I recently did a training in Salt Lake City. I think I've been there once or twice in my life. Anybody ever been to Salt Lake City? Okay. The other Dan Fleischman's having an event there. If you're going to be going out that way, a lot of cool speakers. It's coming up next month. But anyway, so I was looking at FSBOs. I went ahead and got the, you know, the high-end Wi-Fi package or whatever on the trip, on the airplane ride there. And just like our market, not many FSBOs. This was the most expensive FSBO in their market. This was maybe 2 months ago, 1.24. Kevin's probably like, Daniel, that's not even luxury in South Florida, right? I don't know where luxury starts, right? But in Salt Lake City, that's about one of the most expensive FSBO. Now, guess what I found out when I looked into it? Who remembers the show Extreme Home Makeover? You remember that? Yeah? This house was literally on Extreme Home Makeover. So I did my training. We called them. I set the listing appointment. We drove over there. I have a 60-second video showing it. You want to check it out real quick? Yes, check it out. Well, I fly out tonight. Could I come? Oh, okay. I want you to go have lunch. Could we come in an hour? Could we come in an hour and a half or something?
Yeah, come in an hour.
Hour, you got it. We'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
Thanks so much. Driving over. Okay. This was a custom children's bedroom that had a 33-foot slide. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Kevin, I don't even know if they have anything like this in Miami. Okay?
Okay. Whoa! Go ahead.
Yeah, they had all these themed bedrooms for the children. It was unreal.
Sounded like a big foot.
You're going to see me go down the slide here in a second.
Here we go.
I was going down. I was like, when is this thing going to end? And the room that I pop out in at the bottom here, that room, they're like, yeah, we think we're going to put a we're going to put a pickleball court in this room. Kevin, is that, I mean, for Salt Lake City, is that kind of cool? It's kind of cool. So here's what I would say, back to the pursuit of happiness. In life, sort from high to low. I don't care if it's FSBOs, expireds, whoever you're prospecting, like, and you'll see in a minute, like what type of referral partner should I work with? But is everybody open to doing the pursuit of happiness, sort high to low? That one little thing can change your life. Okay, sound good? What's the worst that could happen? Mostly only good stuff and cool stories. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. All right, so we're going to dovetail back in here to the other listing lead sources. So we talked about a few people are going to have been dying and getting divorced in South Florida. Yes. So again, just drop again in the comments if you would work with high net worth divorce, family law, probate, or estate planning attorneys. Just drop it down again. Yes, Sandra, definitely. Yes, Colleen. Okay, good. And if you're a newer agent and you're not sure, feel free to stay at the end. We can ask some questions about it. But what happens is when you get a relationship with one of those attorneys, basically they have the keys to the castle to hand you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 listings a year. Or if it's a bigger firm, even more than that. The next source I believe is going to be great is going to be real estate investors, not the ones that went to the free weekend seminar that want to offer 50% of value. I like ones that already own 5, 10, 15, 20 units. They're constantly buying and selling. And anybody here do commercial or multifamily? Just drop it in the comments. Yeah, Chris. Okay, cool. So also Chris or anybody else that does, would you like to work and get deals from 1031 exchange facilitators? Chris is like, yes, because the FOMO is that they're trying to write the 1031 out of the tax code law. Did everyone hear this? They want to write out the 1031. So there's your FOMO. If you're missing out, you want to tell everybody who's thinking about it. And then I guess what is the Delaware Trust, where you can sell an investment property, throw it into your Delaware Trust and not initially pay taxes, something like that. Again, I'm not tax or accounting professional, but it's worth looking into. All right, so the last ones here are going to be this. Referral partners. So they could be assisted living facilities. I heard in Palm Beach, I did a training last week, my buddy's real estate school. There's a assisted living facility giving $7,500 referrals, nothing to do with real estate commissions, to agents that refer clients. Kevin, have you heard anything like this in, I don't know if Miami is too? Yes. Cool. So again, who wants to get referral partners that send us listings instead of just cold calling all day? Yes? Okay. Lastly, Kevin had alluded to this. Custom campaigns. So we have downsize, high sell score. Let me move my thing here. I just updated this. So custom niches, or probably niches. I think it's niches in South Florida, like luxury. Also, who here's like these interest rates have got you like going crazy? All right. Or you don't have to admit it if they're not. How do we get around this? Well, guess what? A lot of baby boomers, a lot of downsizers, they own their house cash. They have no mortgage. So they're probably going to sell their house and then go buy a house cash. So interest rates are not a big deal to them as much, right? Now, the next one is a bit more complex. I started studying real estate investing in the early 2000s. There's something called an assumable mortgage. I won't get into it too much, and it's a pretty rare example. But if you could get that ever done for a client, I think that they would love you and make you a raving fan video, and you'd get a windfall of business. But we'll just touch on it, right? So here's where I want to get feedback. Is everyone in agreement? Does anyone think I'm missing anything? Anybody think any of these might be wrong? This would be a good time to heckle. Any hecklers, speak now or forever hold. Yeah, pretty good. Oh, I guess the one that I just added to here kind of was like Furbo as well, because that could, lot of different options there. Yep. Okay, cool. Pretty good list. All right. Now, how do we work with these without endlessly cold calling? So let's, all right, move forward here. Kevin, if you see any good questions, you can feel free to, we could do them at the end, or if you see a really good one, you can feel free to let me know.
We'll do it
Okay,
at the
cool.
end.
You got it. So let's check this out. I just did this morning. This is who wants to see up-to-date market information for South Florida? Yes? Miami-Dade. Okay, 305. All right. So this is a downsize search. And Kevin, or probably somebody that you work with, can show you. Kevin, Remind or Remind Pro is still included with your MLS, correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. I do not work for Remind or Remind Pro. I don't work for LinkedIn or Google or any of these companies up here, okay? One of my haters called Remind is like, this guy's pretending to work for you. I'm like, you know how much free exposure I give them? And in other markets, I've had clients pay $5,000 to have access. This program is amazing. The CIA couldn't do what this program does 25 years ago, okay? So how do we find people that might want to downsize? I do a custom search. We can do no mortgage. So like, as you see, there's a little box over here, and then I clicked no mortgage, 100% equity. Does that sound good? Now, downsize, one indicator for me might be that they've lived there 30 years and they're 2 stories. I've heard people don't like stairs after so long. But yeah. And there's a few other ones I like to do. Owner occupant. I did this geographic area here. As you can see, Kevin, I don't know if you can see it. There's about 85,000. Now we could narrow that search down. And you might be thinking, Danny, what am I going to do? Well, I mean, we could email all 85,000 of those people, right? And so stick to the end. We're going to show that specific strategy. Also, how many baby boomers are there? The greatest generation, about 70 million. 1.7 million are ready to downsize right now in the United States. 10,000 retiring daily. And the other 68 million are going to retire in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years, right? So this trend is the one that's going to grow like this. So anyway, if you want to do this custom search, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you put this list together. Is that a pretty good one? Yes. Now, let's do this same thing again, but instead of downsize, Kevin, where does luxury start in Miami-Dade right now?
We'll just keep it at a cool mill.
A cool, all right, yeah, with shades of gray, of course, yeah, with shades of Miami. So, but I did a search. I said properties only worth $1 million or more with no mortgage, so own free and clear. What's the benefit there? The benefit is, I think, obviously, if they sell, they're going to have cash, and then they might be able to buy cash. Does anybody agree, disagree? Like, would that make the interest rate thing a little bit less of an issue? I think so, right? When you're buying cash, you're not going to worry as much about the interest rates. So Snapple fun fact, or as we call them, exponential fun fact, roughly 20% of transactions in every market annually are out of state or absentee owners. We also have a search here where we can do absentee or out of state owners. Looks like there's over 40,000 just in Miami-Dade, and there may be more. This was just one sort of search. I might have just done single family, right? So is everybody tracking so far like a tank? Is this making sense? Okay, you're probably like, okay, what do we do next? Right. So that's what we're going to hit. Oh, check this out too. Super advanced strategy. So we're not going to dive too much into it. But guess what? You can actually search for the interest rate of the property. So look, I mean, if you want to buy a house, or if you want to do real estate investing, or if you really want to dive in, because this was way more advanced, you're going to need a loan officer that's going to want to help you, realizing the loan officer won't get a very big commission if they're doing a wraparound or something. But check this out. This is in Florida. And look, so these, the mortgage loan type, if it said conventional, not going to be assumable 99% of the time. But if it's FHA or VA, and there might be one other small category, and if like less than 1% of conventional, it's going to have what's called an assumable mortgage. What does that mean? That means, can everybody see the interest rates here on the side? 3, 2.8, 2, 3, 5. See those? It means whatever mortgage that they have, like 1.7, these mortgages here, if you qualify and you have to do your homework, the person could assume the mortgage. Do you think these homeowners could get more if somebody could assume their mortgage at 3 to 5%? Yes, they could. Do you think they would make a video saying, oh my God, Kevin or my agent is the best one in the world because somehow they got me 3% interest rate on my first mortgage in 2023? Super advanced strategy. It's not going to happen all the time. But look, anything's possible. Okay. That's what I want you to think about. Kevin, is it good stuff? Yeah. Yes. Love it. So look, what I want you to have today are the best listing leads that are out there, and then some exponential strategies on being able to take these listings. Okay. Now we're gonna shift gears and we're gonna drive a few different directions. This is gonna be like a great movie that's non-sequential, but at the end it's gonna crescendo and come together. Is that fair? Love it. I think Chris raised his hand. I'm just gonna pop that off. Chris, you're the man. Okay. Now I have a question. Does anybody here get any call anxiety? Right? What do I say when I pick up the phone? You know that? Okay. Listen, I also get it for about 3 to 5 seconds. Okay. I have a script though that works 99% of the time. Who wants to see a script that works 99% of the time? Yes. Bold claim. Let me caveat with this. If you're Ashley, I appreciate you. Listen, if you're as old as me, you remember these phones, and they were way more fun to slam down than to just tap on your iPhone, right? They were way more fun. Listen, but 20 years ago, let me knock on wood, I used to get swore at, hung up on, the whole nine. Okay. However, tell you a quick story. I met this guy who you've heard of unless you live under a rock, Kiyosaki, in 2005 in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center. And one thing he taught me that stuck with me, he said, Daniel, when you're teaching, use stories and games. People will remember the lessons better. I said, got it. Stories and games. So I'm going to use a quick little game here with the show Friends to elicit this point. In fact, Kevin, would you be able to play along with me on this one real quick? All good?
Look forward to getting this wrong, but yeah, let's go.
You got this one. You got this. So can you pretend this is Rachel Green from Friends, her fictitious pretend LinkedIn?
She looks
Okay.
great.
She looks, I'm sorry, say it again.
Said she looks great.
Yes, she does. Jennifer Aniston. So let's say that she is a luxury homeowner that's motivated with no agent, or one of these referral partners we're talking about, like an attorney or assisted living facility. How about we just go with luxury homeowner, $5 million house wants to sell, no agent. Is that fair? Now, is everybody on this call familiar with what mutual connections are on LinkedIn? It's going to be everybody in this case that Kevin knows, that Rachel also knows. Okay. Now, if we click on this, we're going to get a list. Now, Kevin, I just need you to pretend that Monica Geller from Friends is your best platonic friend from high school. Deal?
Yeah. She was real
Now,
cool. She was real cool in high school.
Your homegirl, right? Now, if you saw Rachel Green wants to sell her house and you or your virtual assistant looked her up on LinkedIn, like, holy crap, she knows my homegirl, Monica. Kevin, if you call Monica and say, hey, could you three-way a call into Rachel and introduce us? Does that legally, ethically get around the do not call list?
Sounds like it.
Yes, I've talked to attorneys. There's nothing illegal about Monica calling Rachel. Totally legit, right? Not only that, it's not that scary of a call, and Rachel should not ask for a lowball commission, and Rachel should not call 10 other real estate agents other than Kevin. Kevin will tell you why, because Monica, like in high school, would be furious. Am I right, Kevin? Ha ha ha, right?
Yeah.
Listen, this one thing changed my life. Cold calling isn't dead. Cold calling is obsolete. Okay. You can get an introduction to 80 to 90% of the people in your marketplace. Kevin Bacon had this old movie called 6 Degrees of Separation. Wipe that, scrap that. Okay. With LinkedIn, you'll be 1 degree from any human on the planet. Any questions? Because if you took nothing else away, this one thing changed my life. Good stuff? Okay. Kevin might remember these phones. He might not. He might be too young to remember the cordless
Yeah,
phones.
lightning storm hit a transistor one time and sparks flew out. Like I'll always remember those phones for that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love it. Now, I have a real life example because there's always a guy in the room. By the way, do you know ladies are now 64% or more of all real estate professionals in the United States? So anyway, round of applause, ladies. We appreciate you. We do. Be nothing without my mom, my aunt, my grandma, and all the amazing women in my life. Appreciate you. But there's always a guy in the room, with a thick skull, maybe like me 15 years ago. By the way, that is me 15 or 20 years ago. Now, I used to work with this tall guy. Does anybody recognize this tall guy named Tony behind me? Anybody heard of him before? Probably never, right? Okay. It's Tony Robbins. Love him or hate him, very successful, a very amazing human being. Now, growing up, my dad was a police officer. Before you cancel me, hold on. He never beat up anybody on the job. He was on the keep the kids off drugs council, okay? But he only made about 20, 25 grand a year my whole life, okay? So I come from a pretty humble background. Somehow I did network my way into working with this guy. I want to learn about how I could be successful, right? Now, I wanted to do something very bold and very like an exponential type thing. So what I did was I wanted to call this guy over here. His name is Mark Benioff, created a little company called Salesforce.com. Anybody heard of it? Yeah. So if you Googled him, he's worth 7 billion, like with a B. Now, I didn't grow up knowing any billionaires, but I was being resourceful. I saw Tony and Mark were connected on LinkedIn. And when I worked there, his cell phone was in our system. So I called Mark Benioff. Can I tell you how it went really quick? Kind of like this. Ring, ring. Hey, Mark, my name is Daniel. I work with Tony Robbins. I had a quick question. Want to know what billionaire Mark Benioff said to me? What's up, Daniel? How you doing, buddy? How can I help you? I was like, oh my God. No, but that's how I felt inside. I didn't go fanboy, right? Whether it's I'm not bragging. Whether it's a billionaire, a luxury homeowner, or any human you want to get a hold of, the perfect script is, hey, I don't know if we've met. We both know Kevin, right? Kevin, if I called somebody you knew, I'm guessing they would talk to me instead of swearing at me and hanging up, right?
More times than not.
More times than not. That's all I needed was a chance, right? Does that make sense to everybody? You never have to cold call again if you grow your LinkedIn. So just, stick to the end or reach out to me. This one thing can change your whole life and whole business, okay? Even if you want to get Michael Bublé to your butt mitzvah, it can literally works with anything, okay? All right, awesome. There's a whole story behind that one. We won't get into it. Now, if you see the Los Angeles skyline back there, not Miami. I don't know if you can see it. Greg Posada. He runs a real estate Keller Williams in downtown LA. This gentleman wanted to talk to me about as much as he wanted to catch the next bubonic plague mixed with COVID, okay? Did not want to talk to me. However, I got him on the phone. While we're on the phone, I'm on his LinkedIn. And actually, so can I play? It's about a 60-second video. It's going to show you how he went from not wanting to talk to me his entire life to not only did he set a meeting, we did business, and now we're actually kind of friends. Can I show you real quick? All right.
Play it.
Check it out.
Hi, this is Greg Posada with Keller Williams downtown Los Angeles. Really cool story to share really quick. All right, I get calls all the time about anybody wanting to come and do training in our office. And it's one of those things that I automatically, my first question is, are you with Keller Williams? Is it MAPS coaching? And the minute they say no, I zoom out and I'm done. And it's an immediate no. And Daniel texts me and called me, didn't answer, sent an email, voicemail. I saw that and I was like, okay, that's fine. And then sends me a text and says, this OP wanted me to reach out to you. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, let me call. Go ahead and call. And Daniel calls and says, hey, I've got this great program I want to bring to your market center. And the immediate response was, well, first, are you with KW? Do you have anything that's KW related? He says, well, it is going to help you with your market center, but it is not KW. It's a program that I have. So at that point, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not ready to bring anybody in at this moment. And so then at that point, Daniel said, well, do you know, and threw a name of one of our team leaders, which is a really good friend of mine. And I said, oh yeah, I totally know him. And Daniel said, yeah, he said some really great things about you. And
This is the Hail Mary coming up right here.
And threw out one of my cousin's names from Texas, and I'm in Los Angeles. And at that point, I'm like, wait, how do you know this person? And we got into talking. And by the time you knew it, I stopped what I was doing because I was doing other stuff while he was talking to me. And by the end of the conversation, we connected. I listened to what he had to say. And to mention, booked him for this evening to have to come in and talk to my agents. And I don't regret it a bit. And it was amazing. And believe me, it really taught me a lot, even for my recruiting, where now I'm connected with LinkedIn, and I've had LinkedIn since 2008 and don't use it at all. And if you check it out, I've not even posted anything on there. And so I'm actually in the process of connecting all my contacts and following what Daniel shared with us. So I hope you do too. All right, so whether you're an agent or you're a team leader, OP, you're looking to recruit, look for listings, look for buyers, let me tell you, they all fall in line, just like our MREA book. So go ahead and attend the next class whenever you see it. It's great. I'm gonna use it on my recruiting. I'm gonna have my agents use it on their listing, on their buyers, and hope it helps you too. Are you ready to get exponential? There.
So Nike's saying is just do it. Ours is, are you ready to get exponential? So I took somebody from not one, it was like, leave me alone, to like literally, he's a friend, a client, and even said, my tagline. So is everyone in agreement that this is a pretty amazing script here, getting an introduction to pretty much anybody? Absolutely. If you want help with it on how to do it, let me know. We'll go into it. The biggest thing you want to do is add everybody in your phone and connect it up with your LinkedIn. We don't have time here today, but I can help you one-on-one or get you a training module to do that. Sound good? Perfect. Stick to the end. We'll have like a deeper dive for sure. So yeah, I coach a lot of amazing people. Jessica Penne, this is pretty funny. She's a real estate agent in San Diego because you know what? She knows that she's not going to actually be an MMA fighter forever. Funniest quote from Jessica, Daniel, if anybody else talked to me the way you did, I would kick their ass. We're homies, but that was a pretty funny quote. Luckily, it was on the phone. All right, so stick to the end. What we're going to do, though, everything today is going to dovetail together. And again, a little bit non-sequential. It's going to look like this. And thank you. I am going to speak quickly. I have an hour to change your business in your life. So thank you for sticking with me. Again, if you just logged on, we'll have bonus gifts. Just shoot me a text here to my business cell. Please don't call it after midnight Eastern. So we're going to do one or two more little things, and we're going to jump back into the strategies. Because I've done this training so many times. What I've realized is if we miss this one piece of the recipe, a lot of the agents, a lot of you don't get the results. Is that cool? Is that good? Perfect. So one of our hashtags is get exponential. And a lot of people ask me, Daniel, what's this exponential thing? Okay. And you just heard Greg say it. So look, if you get 1% better per day, every day for 365 days, you actually get improved by 3,800%. It follows this curve that's actually right over here. Does anybody think they can get 1% better at their career in like, whether it's social media, calling, your listing appointment, 1% better? Of course you can. And if you just show up and just do it every day, you literally can get on an exponential curve. So that's kind of what we encourage you to do. It's not a magic pill that works overnight. It's something that you just, you do it more times than you've tied your shoe. And then of course it's just becomes second nature. Now, okay, we're going to jump back into the lead pillars here for a second. So again, we were all in agreement that these are going to be some of the best lead pillars in this interesting market. I don't know if we've ever had one quite like it. And then also, a lot of you have said that you're interested in working with attorneys. So if anybody who hasn't said they would accept listings from attorneys, go ahead and drop it in the chat now. So just really quick, just a few FAQs that I get on attorneys, because this, it comes up endlessly. So this is going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is a marketing piece. It's like, who keeps the dog in divorce? Is that sad? I'm like, oh, every time I see it. Is that amazing marketing though? Yeah, call that attorney. Okay, it's great. Now, this is crazy. You cheated. I'm going to spray paint your Porsche. You're a player. Is that crazy? Crazy good marketing. Call that attorney. Okay? Yes. Now, next one. Buy one divorce, get one half off. No. Wrong attorney. You with me? Trying to have a little bit of fun here. Now, take a sip of water. Traveling is not what it used to be. Kevin, have you had any 7 to 10 hour flight delays recently?
Don't ask me that question because I don't want to get jinxed. I've been doing great.
Okay. I won't put that evil on you. Okay. Won't put that evil on you. Okay. Now, a lot of agents say, oh my God, Daniel, probate takes long. Divorces are stressful. I'm like, yeah, you know what's more stressful? Being poor. I don't know. Pick one, right? And being cheeky. I don't watch TMZ, but Dr. Dre got started a divorce in like 2021. Does anybody know why he's worth over $900 million? It's not music. Anybody tell me, drop in the comments, why is Dr. Dre worth over 900 million? The Beats, yes, Beats headphones, yes. Michelle Vasquez, boom, you got it. So that's correct. Now, so literally, this agent in Los Angeles, We looked up Dr. Dre's divorce attorney. He actually had to switch attorneys. I don't watch TMZ, so I don't know the whole thing. But one of the two, he's like, oh my God, Daniel, she went to college with my friend and he was able to get a meeting with Dr. Dre's divorce attorney. You see how that's like a pursuit of happiness? You can look up divorce attorney, you know, and oh man, am I gonna get in trouble? We can look up divorce, Kevin, I'm about to get in trouble. We can look up divorce attorneys in Liberty City, you know, or we could look up divorce attorneys in Brickell. Listen, I love everybody in Liberty City, Hialeah, everywhere. But no, seriously, what a lot of my mentors said, Daniel, solve problems for wealthy people. They pay better, and then donate your time and money and energies to you know, charitable causes, right? So is that kind of cool? Just trying to inspire you. Working on getting an intro to another celebrity's divorce attorney, but as I've learned, sometimes don't, you know, omerta, as my Italian friends would say, right? Sometimes you don't spit it out. Now, who here would like to get attorneys to actually call and set meetings with you? Anybody think that's possible? I wouldn't have believed it was possible until I worked on this project for a few months. If there was a Michael Jordan 360 like slam dunk posterized version of an email, I think this is it. Okay. So I'm going to give you part of it here. Really to implement it, you'd probably want to reach out one-on-one. But I have an email that I sent out to attorneys and we're getting responses like this. Thank you for reaching out. I've been looking for this. And as you can see, I covered up everything but Esquire. This one's like, here's my cell phone, call me. And I mean, we've gotten hundreds of these. You also get inbound calls. Okay. Here's one from Los Angeles. Thank you. You know, I'd love to connect. Would anybody like to get attorneys reaching out to you to set meetings? Does that sound horrible? Here's my theory. I think you should call a lot of attorneys. One, do attorneys buy and sell houses for themselves? Yeah. Do they also have listings from clients from divorce, probate, maybe bankruptcy, maybe a ton of myriad of others, the real estate law? Yeah, right? I don't know. I'm really all in on this whole attorney thing. And exponential fun fact, 7 years after LA Law premiered on television, the number of lawyers and attorneys in the country went up exponentially. Until 2018, there were more attorneys and lawyers than real estate agents. That only changed in 2018-19. I think it's evening back out in this market, but kind of interesting, right? So literally, yes, we have an email that you can, anybody want a copy of that? Just, yeah, drop in the chat. Actually, just, yeah, shoot me a text with your name and email and we'll connect and we'll get that over to you. Now, I know a lot of this seems like it's pretty wild. Some of it does to me as well. I have a list of referrals from one attorney over here, actually, and he gave me 15 referrals. It's a long story. But the first one we called literally was like pretty much swore and hung up, which is, as Kevin can attest to now, like hasn't happened to me much in 20 years. Now, the second one we met with, it actually went fantastic. So I have a few videos here documenting this as an agent in Central Florida. Can I share a little bit of it just to kind of give you some background, make this seem a bit more legit so you can understand it? Is that fair? So I'll play a bit of each of these videos. This was our video after meeting with our first few attorneys, I believe.
Hey, Daniel Fleischman, Exponential Real Estate Results. I'm here with
AJ Fernandez with Keller Williams.
in Central Florida in Kissimmee. So we just sat down with an attorney, right, that does probate, estate planning, family law, right? Correct?
Yes.
And could the meeting have went any better?
Oh, it went smooth as it can be. You know, just get me in front of the clients and we'll make it happen.
Yeah. AJ also offered if he ever needs an expert witness, which you do get paid for, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 grand, 10 grand a case on top of the commission. And he also referred us to at least 3 other attorneys, and I think 1 or 2 of the attorneys have like 5, 10, 20, 30 attorneys in their group. Okay. So if one attorney sends you 6 listings per year, well, I know somebody in Southern California, she works with, you know, probably 20 or 30 or more attorneys. So do you think we could do this, replicate this process?
Yeah, we could definitely scale the process.
Yeah. And there's 2,000 to 3,000 divorce attorneys within 90 minutes of us.
So I'm going to cut that one there. It's on my social media. I'm at DFLEI7 on Instagram or Daniel Fleischman on LinkedIn and all the other platforms. But essentially what I wanted you to kind of see, I actually almost had to miss our first 2 meetings, and AJ's like, no, Daniel, I'm not going by myself. He was like pretty much freaked out, which I don't know if anybody else would be, but you know, I could kind of understand why he would be. Now, fast forward a couple weeks later, this was actually, who'd like to see a live call of me setting an appointment with an attorney? Yeah. Now it's going to look like I have some kind of special touch here, But again, the reason this went so well was we used the LinkedIn thing to get the introduction. So it's about 60 seconds, but hopefully it's the one where I blanked out the names. We'll check it out. Let's see if we can play it.
Hey, Daniel Fleischman, Exponential Real Estate Results. I'm here with.
Wait for it.
Hey, Daniel.
Okay. Keeping it real goes bad. Let me try this one more time.
There he is.
There we go. Coming in.
Hey, is this the famous attorney?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey, awesome, man, awesome. Attorney referred me over to you, and I actually just went to your website, so I see you're helping veterans. I think that's awesome. I just want to acknowledge you for that.
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, you know Attorney, right?
Of course.
Yeah, so he's a good friend of mine. We used to share office space. He'd referred me and AJ Fernandez over. AJ's a local real estate professional. What we were hoping to do, we met with another attorney friend of his as well, C. I don't know if you know him down in Ab. But we had a really good meeting. AJ Fernandez, my business associate, we believe we can refer you probably some family law and maybe some other clients as well. And quite frankly, I'd love to hear more about what you're doing for veterans. We wouldn't be opposed to adding some value there as well. Just seeing if we might be able to schedule a 5 or 10 minute meeting in person just to introduce ourselves and see if we could maybe refer each other some business.
Sure, if you call my office number, which should be on the card, give it to you.
Yes.
And let them know that you just spoke with me on the phone, that it's not just a cold call.
Okay.
And to set up a time sometime next week to come in and sit down, we'll have a cup of coffee and chat.
Oh, that sounds great. I look forward to it. Thanks so much.
All right, man, don't work too hard.
All right, you likewise, man. Have a great day. Bye. Boom!
So it's funny going back to watch the game tape here. You know why? Because it just reminded me of a few things.
Daniel Fleischman, Exponential.
One, I can tell you that so in this particular one, it was a very inopportune moment. He'd actually called back in and we were about to leave and I was like, oh crap. All right. So I answered the call. So as you can tell, I didn't sound perfectly smooth. It was, but what was the saving grace was the fact that I got an introduction from somebody he knows, likes, and trusts, right? And he also said, tell my assistant it's not a cold call, right? Everyone hear those kind of little things there? Yeah. So literally that, I don't know if you like Tim Ferriss, there's no such thing as a 4-hour work week, but Tim Ferriss was able to beat Brazilian jiu-jitsu masters in Brazil after 2 years of training. Why? Because if you read the book, if you haven't read the book, spoiler alert, he learned this rule that if you get somebody out of bounds 3 times, you win. Did he win the gold medal in this Brazilian jiu-jitsu competition? Yes. Were the other martial artists very upset? They were. Did he still win? He did. It's kind of like one of those life hacks, right? It's just, Daniel, how do you get better at selling? I'm like, you know how you get better at selling? Get better at making friends, adding value. My friends don't give me objections. Everybody rather like make more friends and network than have to learn slimy sales techniques. Doesn't that sound a lot better? Absolutely. So like what I do is anybody like the movie The Matrix? Right? So there's a scene in The Matrix where Neo, who's played by Keanu Reeves, asks Morpheus, is that Lawrence Fishburne, I think? He says, Morpheus, you're saying I can dodge bullets? Does anybody remember what Neo said, or Morpheus says? He says, no, Neo, I'm telling you, when you're ready, you won't have to. Why? At the end of the movie, he can stop bullets by putting his hand up. Am I saying I can teach you the perfect way to overcome every objection and be amazing at sales? No, I'm telling you, when you get really good at LinkedIn networking and adding value to people, you won't have any objections. Kind of cool? I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Now, we'll fast forward to the end here. This is pretty good. And definitely in Florida, the biggest group we've gotten in with so far. We got in with a group of 64 attorneys. Just to give you reference, my friend in Southern California, who made almost 3 million GCI last year on 115 listings, all of them inbound calls from attorneys and her clients. She has about 20, maybe 25 attorneys, but 20 main attorneys, right? This law firm does divorce. They do divorce, family law, probate, estate planning, business litigation, like almost everything. They have 6 people dedicated to estate planning and probate, right? And again, when somebody dies, the children are selling the house, not keeping it, right? So we'll end this case study with this little video here, just so you can kind of get an idea.
Hey, Daniel Fleischman, Exponential Real Estate Results.
Okay, so yeah, when you get 1% better per day, although sometimes what will happen is that these are the new slides I added, but I think this will work if I hit this here.
Daniel Fleischman,
There we go.
Exponential Real Estate Results, Exponential Business Coaching, here with
AJ Fernandez with Keller Williams Legacy.
run attorneys 5 to 6 to 64. Okay, so we've been practicing what we're preaching. AJ reached out to his network and he actually found somebody who has an urgent probate need. They have somebody who passed away and they have property and assets that they need an attorney for. So we looked in my network and we actually connected with a firm that has over 64 attorneys who do everything from probate to estate planning to divorce. And we just talked with the founding partner and he asked us to actually meet up with his person who handles probate and estate planning. He said he has 5 or 6 attorneys that handle that. So
Yeah, that's exponential right there. You know,
Yeah.
just with one contact, you can have access to, over 6 times more of what we've already done.
went from
So,
4 to 64. We go 0 to 100 real quick. So again, we literally, if you remember in our last video, AJ's like, okay, we got to prime the pump here. We're gonna get some referrals going. And he also said that he's like, I have the founding partner. He's like, I have a really strong relationship with attorney XYZ at ABC Real Estate Company, right?
yes.
Yes. And then what I said was, I was like, cool. Are they referring you any business? You know, can we, did they know your friend so and so that introduced us? I said no. I said, if we refer you business, would that make you more? He's like, yeah, that would definitely make me more willing to want to work with you. So.
Exactly. That's how it goes.
Boom, that's it. So we are now headed over to we are headed back over to their firm and we're going to meet up with their attorneys that handle probate and estate planning. And then we should have no problem getting introductions to the other 50 or 60 attorneys at their firm. So boom. Are you ready to get exponential? Go.
So the rest of this video is on my social media. Here's what I want to tell you. A lot of agents that want to work with attorneys, here's the natural progression. One, they can't get a meeting with attorney because they're trying to get past the gatekeeper. So the LinkedIn and getting somebody's cell phone circumvents that. We get the meeting and then some agents will get a meeting with an attorney and they're like, oh, they don't send me any listings because they either did something, they either missed something in their meeting or they did something they shouldn't have done in their meeting, right? So we kind of walk you through all these pitfalls so that you literally are getting these attorneys, because the other fear that comes up, don't they already have a real estate agent? Sure they do, but did they get introduced by somebody they know, like, and trust? And are we referring each other business? You can get in with 30% of the attorneys in your market, give or take, just by being a stand-up amazing agent. To get into the rest, you probably need to start some type of referral type of situation. However, it's think of the worst real estate agent you've ever met in terms of prospecting. All the attorneys in the world are way worse than that. Okay, so we can't help them identify clients. We don't have time to get into it today, but feel free to text me and we can show you how to do that. Good stuff. Just trying to give you some broad strokes here and stuff that'll work in this market. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna get back into the best stuff here. Then the meat of it, then we'll land the airplane. I have a metaphor I want to tell you really quick. Today, this is the world's largest domino. It's 3 or 4 stories. So if that's a metaphor for you crushing it in your business, taking a ton of listings, achieving your goals, I don't think I can knock over that domino today metaphorically. Okay. However, the first domino that starts this transaction is way smaller than that. So here's my suggestion. In life, sometimes there's one thing you can do that can start a domino effect, a butterfly effect, whatever metaphor you like. So, but today what you could do is make a decision. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to grow my LinkedIn. I'm going to commit to 5 to 10 minutes a day. I'm going to work with attorneys or assisted living, or, I'm going to try this thing a little bit differently. If you keep doing what you've already done, I don't know if you'll be a real estate agent in this market very much longer. However, I think if you ride it out through this market with recession-proof or depression-proof strategies, don't you think there's a lot of pent-up demand? So I think at the end of this rainbow, I don't know how long it is, I think there's going to be a lot of pent-up demand, buyers, sellers, like an avalanche of business, a deluge, right? So I think you should stick with it. That's my suggestion here. So with that being said, here's my domino statement, okay? I truly believe this. I believe that the fastest way to create exponential shifts in your mindset, your skills, and your results are to use exponential growth strategies, okay? And I'm just in case Kevin's not over there, I'm going to keep admitting a few people, okay? So here's notes from my mentor really quick, something I truly believe. You can tell me if you resonate. I believe that all your dreams, your goals, your vision, so the life you want, the relationships you want, the family, friends, and peer group you want, I really feel that it's going to be fueled and driven by the results in our business life. Anybody else resonate with that one? If you can, just drop it below. But I truly believe that. Okay. So we're going to hit this last piece here, and it's just going to be related to, we have to get this little mindset piece. Look, I'm not woo-woo, I'm not hairy-fairy, but I can tell you, if you have a bad mindset and you think things aren't going to work, man, they just don't. I can't really explain how well, other than the fact that, as Ed Milet would say, there's a little bit of Jesus involved or something, right? And or, I feel that just there's no coincidences. I really feel things are aligning. Some of the things that happen, it's really hard to explain, right? So I think, but once you get in the right mindset with the right people, the right strategies, right? If you're running east looking for a sunset, it's not going to happen. You got to have the strategies. With that being said, who would like to cut like decades off of your learning curve? Like literally, like let's say 17 years. All right, here's an example of mine. If it's okay, I'm not bragging, but I think you'll find value. This gentleman here, you've probably never heard of. His name is Chet Holmes. Passed away, I thought it was a few years ago. Turns out it was almost a decade now. He was one of Warren Buffett's top sales managers, if not top sales manager of all time. You've heard of Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett. Yeah. I don't know Charlie or Warren. I knew this guy. Now, when he left working with Charlie and Warren, he's like, what do I do next? It's like he won the gold medal. He started his own training company. Now, at the time, he wanted to collaborate with the other big names. The biggest name in his industry at the time was, of course, Tony Robbins. He cold called Tony Robbins at least once a week for 17 years. And 5 years before he died, he got into business and did some events with Tony Robbins. And he calls it pig-headed discipline. Now, here's what's cool. Chet taught me what he did, and I got into business with, yes, and somebody said they recognized Dragon or Eli there, my buddies from back in the day. But what Chet Holmes did in 17 years, I was able to accomplish in under 17 weeks. So I want to ask you, like, would you rather do it in the 17 years or the 17 weeks, right? So again, I really think exponential strategies and a little bit of coaching are the way to do this, okay, for your dominoes. All right, so let's jump in. Last piece on your mindset here, okay? This mentor also, after he told me about the life and dreams and vision you want, he gave me this one. He said, Daniel, you need to go all in on this. And I was like, what do you mean? And he kind of gave me a metaphor. I'm going to try to share it with you as best I can. Do you see how this guy here is not all in? Yes. Kevin, you're making me want to stretch too. All right. Anybody needs a stretch break, feel free. I need to go to the chiro and the massage therapist, right? Okay. Those airplane seats for too long. This guy here, is he not all in? No way, right? Now, are these two all in? I would say so, right? Looks like they're from the Northeast or Midwest, right? I'm originally from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. Now, for sale by owner, they're not all in. What are they thinking, right? There's very few right now anyway. Now, you're gonna like this one. Hey, is everybody here all in? They are getting a round of applause. YPN, Kevin, all in, okay? You gotta have some fun. Now, but seriously, I think I wanna ask you a question. Are you ready to go all in? And it's a personal decision, so you can answer it yourself. But I don't know if anybody's heard of Jocko Willink. This always reminds me of Jocko. No, I haven't met him. We were supposed to do an event together in 2020. You can imagine how that worked out. Anyway, but drawing a line in the sand, what I'm going to say is, in the past, it's not your fault that you haven't hit your goals. However, if you know who Jocko Willink is, well, obviously it was extreme ownership, extreme accountability. And then what's his other quote? Good. He's like, oh, you didn't get the listing? Good. You learned something. Oh, interest rates are 8%? Good. You're gonna have to learn about some strategies that work in any market. That's what Jocko would say, right? He's like, we're under enemy fire? Good. Let's use it. You know, he always turns everything around. It's pretty cool. But look, you have to make that personal decision. But moving forward, I believe that you have all the skills you need between YPN, whatever brokerage you're with, and hey, if we can help, I believe that you have the ability to go all in. Life gets better when you do. You see this meme a lot more. Who likes this meme here? That feeling when you're clear to close? Now, if you're an OG or you've been doing this for a while, I think we should change that to that feeling when the commission check is in your hand. Shouldn't we update? Clear to close ain't what it used to be. Can I get a amen? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. So look, I'm gonna hit 3 secrets and we're gonna land the airplane. The best stuff here is at the end. I believe the first secret to real estate success, as corny as it is your mindset, your exponential thinking, okay? So we're gonna go through this quick if you're rolling your eyes. Secret 1A, because I'm always improving, 1% per day, is by now you should know there's more efficient and effective ways actually to identify buyers and sellers. Agreed? I think so. Instead of just cold calling, random people. Now, does anybody know who Roger Bannister is? We'll end this section with this. Anybody heard of him? If you're a young agent, here's a history lesson. Roger Bannister, the first man in human history to run a mile in under 4 minutes. First human to do it. If you don't think it's a big deal, in ancient Rome and Greece, they tied a bull behind somebody. to motivate them. Spoiler alert, they died. Okay. In the 1940s and 50s, doctors said your heart would explode. It's a man or woman. They can't do it. As we know, doctors are always right. I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. Yes. My team's telling me to leave that alone. I'm just kidding. All right. But what I can tell you is that, so on May 6, 1965, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. Everybody went crazy. Thousands of years in the making. Guess what happened 46 days later? John Landy ran a 4-minute mile. Guess what high school and college students of every gender are doing today in 2023? Running sub 4-minute miles. Have we evolved as a species? I don't think so, personally. And I read a book with a mentor that what he said is when we see somebody else achieve something, don't we think it's more possible? I think so, right? So I couldn't believe this happened, but in 2013, Tony Robbins left me a voicemail comparing me to Roger Bannister. It's 10 seconds. Are you okay if I share it? It'll help you get listings, I promise. Yes? All right, let's do it. My creative results were Tony compared me to Roger Bannister, you know, the first guy to run a 4-minute mile.
Daniel, it's Tony Robbins. I can't thank you enough for being my partner, brother. I'm just excited, really, really excited to see somebody just blow through that 4-minute mile and show people what's possible.
Now, as you can imagine, I'm not a runner. Maybe I should run or work out more, you know. But there's this one hip hop artist. He says, forget a 6-pack. I'd rather have, 6 stacks of cat. Okay, anyway. With that being said, why would Tony compare me to Roger Bannister? Here's what I did. I set 257 qualified appointments in 99 days. Now, let me ask you this. If you did 30% of that, which would be about 75 or 76 appointments in the next 90 days, would anybody like 75 listing appointments in the next 90 days? Yeah, you can have what I call broken clock syndrome and you could still get listings. If you're younger, I'll explain that for you. Old school clocks with the hands, if it's broken, how many times a day is it right? Twice? Yes. Yeah, even a garbage, yes. Anyway, so at that point, what's going to happen is with that many meetings, you're either going to do so many meetings that you get really good at it, number one, or number two, you're going to be like, okay, I can set these meetings. Let me get somebody that can close them and at least split them, right? You with me? So, but I'm telling you, that's what's possible. So anybody in your life that says that's not possible, you know, they're either confused or lying to you, okay? The military has a saying, once is a coincidence, twice is a pattern. You know what they call it 3 times in the military? An enemy combatant. So anybody that's told you negative things more than 3 times, I don't know. That's how the military handles it. That's what I've been told. All right, so here's what we got. Secret number 1, landing the airplane. Know your reason why. Your mindset, right? Here was my secret weapon right here. I had my first son on the way. I lived in Miami for 10 or 11 years. Do you know why I live in Central Florida now? I didn't want to be like asking me Dad, what's Scarlett's? Okay, so I am up in Central Florida. See, that triggered my move, okay? Right, hey, the billboard's big, right? Don't worry, son, that's the ballet. Don't look at that, okay? Anyway, so with that being said, here's my son at 5, but this was the reason I was able to hit that target. Can I do a dad share for 20 seconds? Check him out? Okay. Kevin, I'm glad you appreciated that one. All right, let's try the play button. There we go. Let's try it again. 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 You got a mic? No, you got a mic? Hey, come on, man. We practiced. You wanted to tell everybody something. And so what's your name?
Chico.
And what can you do?
Anything.
You can do anything?
Yeah.
Can you say it in Espanol?
Yo puedo hacer cualquier cosa.
Oh! How cool is that, right? If you're going to destroy something for your children, destroy their fear of public speaking by age 5. I won't get into my background, but man, I had no self-confidence at 5. And while we want to, who here has children? Drop it in the comments. Yep. Like Daniel, I don't need Tony Robbins. I got children and a mortgage. I'm good, right? Anyway, listen, I can tell you that, you know, while we want to give our children better lives, we can't just give them materialistic things because we've all seen E! True Hollywood Story. So also make sure you're giving them skills and a network and things like that. My son wanted to speak again on the next time. He's 9 now. I said, you're not quite as cute as 5. I said, you can speak on stage, but first, I was like, you have to be able to take a listing appointment, set a listing appointment from stage. We're working on it. But anyway, if my son is taking listing appointments and helping listings get transacted before he's 10, I don't know. We're not going to have a lot more excuses left. Am I right? Okay, there we go. So anyway, that's the end of the mindset. So I'm sure a lot of you want to jump back in. Let's hop back into the strategies. We'll land the airplane. The nuggets will get bigger as they go, so stick to the end. For time's sake, this is Suzanne Lucas. She lives in Southwest Florida. And she is a self-proclaimed not tech-savvy person. Anybody here a self-proclaimed not tech-savvy person? Okay. She also said, Daniel, do I look like the Wolf of Wall Street? Okay, I'm not a cold caller, right? So she's not tech-savvy and says she doesn't look like the wolf. Amazing human being, though. And this used to be a big deal. It's as we keep getting higher and higher ones, it's, you know, it's still kind of cool. Her first day as an agent, her first dial, she got a $1.4 million listing appointment. In fact, she literally took off her jacket. It's on my social media with the purple background. You can check that out. But she was a little bit overwhelmed by some of the strategies. And I said, Suzanne, I said, look, who wants to know a good question to ask yourself when you're overwhelmed, especially nowadays? Good. What's my outcome, or what's one thing that could make today a win? Okay. Because if we can get one win today, that could be huge. So I said, what's your outcome? She said, Daniel, it's my first day as an agent. If I could get a listing appointment today, that would really, I'd feel today was a win. I said, okay, we can do that. So instead of like, you know, a lot of the things we talked about, I simply I made a list for her and I said, okay, call this one and say this. Okay. And then at that point, yeah, she literally got a $1.4 million listing appointment, which is kind of cool. I'm telling you that in any given market, if you call the right person at the right time and say the right thing, there are listing appointments just sitting there. It's just having the cojones to call them and knowing what to say. And by the way, the $18 million expired listings, they get called way less than the $1 million listings. So just throwing that out there. Do we have time for one little bonus piece and then we'll wrap this in? Yeah, one little bonus piece. So I believe there's a windfall of a business coming for a few agents in the next few years from this one thing. Who here is familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I met him in 2009. I'm not best friends or anything. Does anybody know why he throws up the number 5? We've got our thing like this, but he throws up the 5. Anybody know? His family, when he moved here as an immigrant, his mom couldn't afford a jersey. And so his mom knitted him a number 5 Jets jersey. Guess what he has today? He owns part of the New York Jets. Okay. You know why? Gary V, I mean, he gets ahead of trends. His first video, it's called Wine Library TV. Do you know what year it came out? 1996. Some of you probably are like, there was internet in 1996? I knew there was internet. I didn't know you could watch videos on the internet in 96. But anyway, that's when he started Wine Library TV. Talk about ahead of a trend. Now, has anybody here ever gotten business or referrals off of like your text reviews? Like the type, like Google, Zillow, etc. Yeah. So I think a trend that's emerging, and I know Zillow soft launched it, are video reviews. I work with Mike Chow on the Mike Chow team. We actually become really good friends. One of his custom goals he said, Daniel, I get listings from my reviews. Look how much of a slacker this guy is, by the way. Huge slacker. Just kidding. He said, Daniel, I want to start doing video reviews like you're talking about. He now has over 25 from buyers, sellers, vendors. He took me out to a 5-star dinner, authentic Chinese with seafood. And then afterwards, he's like, Daniel, okay, let's go shoot a video. I was like, you got me. I was like, that was good. So if you go to Mike Chow's Instagram, whoops, let's hit the wrong button here. If you go to his Instagram, he's the Chow team. Does everyone want to see just a few seconds of one of them? One of the early ones, pre-edited? Yeah, we'll just play a few seconds.
Hi, Carolee Whitehouse here. I am a client of Emily Lou's from a few years ago, and I just had to let you know that she is so awesome, so easy to work with, very trustworthy. That's probably the most important thing for me when choosing a realtor, is finding someone who you can trust. And
she goes on, she's like, yeah, Southern California, somebody you can trust. She's like, that's hard to find. Anyway, so so sorry, I had some travel delays and I've been coughing, sorry. But essentially, I think this trend that you can get ahead of here is I think video reviews are going to be more of the norm. Also, I think, right, the first time I met Kevin, I texted him a bunch of reviews from like agents and brokers and stuff. Did I do that, Kevin? I think so. Probably like the Greg Posada type thing. Yeah. So anyway, imagine you set an appointment and right afterwards, you just text a few video reviews like this. I'm telling you, you'll probably be, even in South Florida, one of the few agents doing it. Also, you can incorporate them in your social media, your website. And if Zillow or Google, if they make this the new standard, which I think it's probably only a matter of time, the natural progression of the internet, you literally are going to be, it'd be like being one of the first people on Facebook doing something, or the first people on YouTube, right? So you can have 1,000 YouTube followers and make a ton of money. So anyway, that's a tool in your tool belt. Good stuff. Okay. All right. We'll get back to the listings here. So LinkedIn, like we talked about, it's literally like a referral generating machine. Okay. It literally can just give you an endless supply of, people that want to sell or buy and get introductions to them without cold calling. Okay. So let's just do one quick example. Once you build your LinkedIn, caveat, this won't work until you build your LinkedIn, which takes like a couple weeks. But once you connect 500 to 1,000 connections, the average person has 500 at least. So that means you're going to have a network instantly of 250,000 to 500,000 to 1 million or more instantaneously. Okay. Now, sometimes connecting with one person will open you up to a new 100,000 people, right? So think, who do I need to get connected to, right? The Ed Milet's or the Tony Robbins or the Mark Benioffs of the world, right? But here we go. This was New York. I guess I didn't do Florida, but I did divorce. I did New York City. I did lawyers. And look, there's 2,400 that came up. There's probably more. What you can do is then you drill down and you say, cool, which of these could I get an introduction to? Which is kind of cool. If you need help with that, reach out. It's a bit more advanced, but we can help you do that. So, and we showed you this video earlier about how getting the intro is how we're going to get the meeting, like with the attorney. So again, LinkedIn referral generating machine. This is my LinkedIn here. Here's a very important point I do want to point out. So I don't know, Kevin, I don't know if your favorite celebrity is Cristiano Ronaldo. Hope it's not Kim Kardashian. Okay. But this will help you remember this. What we do is we follow celebrities, connect with our network. I'm going to say it again because I get asked millions of times. Follow celebrities, connect with your network. Okay. If you follow everybody you know on LinkedIn, it's worthless. You have to connect with them in your network. Here's the next few questions that come up. But Daniel, there's no connect button. There might be 3 dots, or there might be a button that says more, and then you're going to hit connect. Okay. And if they don't connect with you in a couple of weeks, just give them a gentle nudge via text or when you see them. Right. So that's how we're going to get there. Every human knows 500 to 1,000 people. If you Google Joni Dodds, America's Next Top Model, season 2, came in 2nd place. She grew up 5 blocks from me, and nobody thought she was a model growing up. Amazing young gal. She's no longer a model, but we're still friends. I'd reach back out to her. I mean, she's kind of loosely affiliated with Tyra Banks and her crew, right? Not that I've reached out there yet, but you should reach all the way back to high school, church, like the whole 9. Your network is way bigger than you think. Does that make sense? Tracking? Okay. Max connections on LinkedIn, 30,000. I don't know how they came up with it. You don't need 30,000. Who can tell me how many you need? 500 to 1,000. We're almost done with the boring stuff, right? But this is just the foundation, laying the groundwork here, okay? Now, it gets way better. Check this out. Who here said they don't want to endlessly cold call and door knock anymore? Yep. This is where we're going to be. I'm going to be fulfilling all those clickbait claims in the beginning. So you want to pay attention. We're going to land the airplane. The way you don't cold call and you don't door knock forever is you get strategic referral partners. You may have guessed some of my favorites would include attorneys, divorce, probate, estate, but also assisted living facility. Check your area. There's assisted living facilities giving agents $7,500 referrals just for referring people. They can also refer people to you. Mom and dad probably might have to sell the house to move in, although I wish we would all keep them at home, but we won't go there. Insurance. Anybody knows somebody with insurance rates going up? No, not in South Florida, right? No insurance rate premiums going up, right? I would have a great relationship with somebody with insurance that can get really good insurance rates right now. Anybody think that's a good idea? Yes. Your mortgage loan officer. How many vendors are in the average transaction? Snapple fun fact, exponential, 26. Who thinks that your mortgage LO, your title rep, your insurance person, your photographer, your stager, who thinks they don't give you enough referrals? Yeah. With LinkedIn, you can borderline force them to give you referrals because your LO knows an attorney. Your title rep knows somebody who owns a FSBO. Your insurance person knows somebody on that expired list. Don't you think if you called an expired, a FSBO, a luxury home, whatever it is, and you have a best friend, a really good friend in common, don't you think that's a different type of appointment than just like being a stranger? It's a world of difference, right? That's like that whole Neo and the Matrix thing, okay? So these are the people we want to add. Daniel, should I add other real estate agents? If they're going to give you listings, yeah, they're not going to give you listings. So in the beginning, skip local real estate agents, okay? Add people you know that start with vendors and then a lot of the successful people you've ever met in your entire life. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Again, family. I'm big on the family law, and we talked about that. I think for time's sake, I'm going to skip this. If anybody wants, we have an Instagram. He's not an influencer. He's like an expert that we work with. I'll voice over this here really quick. I'll just give you the nuggets on this one. This is like a bonus.
Let me show you real quick.
Let me mute it. So this is Corey. He works with agents. This one is in Las Vegas. Now, who here knows who Mr. Wonderful is from the Shark Tank? Ladies, who's heard of Spanx, S-P-A-N-X? You're like, Kevin, where's he going with this? Who's the founder of Spanx? Sarah Blakely, okay? One of the youngest billionaires in the world, okay? Does she need any more money? Not so much. Does she make social media content like it's going out of style? She sure does. I think it might be her legacy play. You know, it's tough to say. But we all didn't know Mr. Wonderful 25 years ago. We've all heard of him now. That's the power of a personal brand. If you want to get overpaid, like Kevin is certainly building a personal brand. I know who, somebody told me to call him 2 years ago. I've been trying to build a relationship with him ever since, okay? So building your personal brand makes you much more valuable. If you want to, our Instagram guru said, you don't want to make videos? Fine, you got 5 years. He's like, you probably won't be an agent after that, but you got 5 years left, okay? So you might want to think about it. But the biggest thing that you should do while you're taking 3D photos and the Matterport walkthrough and the drone and all that stuff is videotape yourself walking through the property. Listen, it's not that scary. The best thing to do is just get it out of the way when you're nervous. Plus, if everything you says out of your mouth sounds stupid, you know what we can do? We can mute you and voice over it, okay? Plus, I'm learning some of these AI techniques. It's unbelievable. AI freaks me out, but it's unbelievable. So if you want some help with that, reach out. I can actually get you an Instagram audit over with Corey. Sound good? That's like an extra bonus. All right, so we'll land the airplane. Here's going to be the crescendo. Again, if we use a program like Remind, who I don't work for, we can search any type of lead that we want. I have friends that are internet marketers. If you've ever seen one of those clickbait ads online that says, hey, make money from home in your pajamas, right? Well, there are a few people that do actually make millions from home in their pajamas. I'm not plugging them. It's very hard. But they have a saying. Internet marketers say the money is in the list. Say you sell what's something from the Shark Tank, Scrub Daddy. Say you have an email of 10 million people that love Scrub Daddies and you send an email, you might make $10 million. They average about $1 per email. Now, is there any way to find out who owns every single home in South Florida? Is there any way we could do that? Any way that anybody could think of to, yes, right? Literally, I have a list of pretty much every homeowner in Florida, okay? I don't have updated info on all of them, but most, okay? Anybody think that'd be a good list to have? It sure would be. Anybody buying leads? Drop it in the comments. Who's buying leads? Okay. As far as listing leads, you can get a lot of the same ones, you know, for free. Ashley loves Mr. Wonderful. Thank you. So let's say we did our custom search. Here's the next challenge. When you download it, it looks like this, and you're ready to go to happy hour. You're like, okay, I'm done. Okay. Anybody seen a list like this before? You're like, what do I do with this pile of garbage? Right now, who here's ever used a cyberbacker or a virtual assistant? Yeah. Or if you never have and you want to try out an assistant, there's websites where you can start for $5 to $20 testing one out. So we actually have a virtual assistant training module. You can have it for free. Reach out. They will take this and make it look like this. Now, from there, you would upload it to your CRM. One of the most boring, not sexy things I train that'll make you the most money. Can I run through this really quick? Okay. We want to get the correct cell phone. Now, you said Daniel and Kevin, you guys were just saying nobody picks up their cell phone anymore. That's accurate. There are ways around it. In fact, a FISBO a couple weeks ago, we called and I sent this text thing that I have to get through, and we met with them the next day. They said, we had 200 phone calls. You're the only one we met with because of that funny text that you sent us. It wasn't the dog. Reach out to me. I'll tell you. Now, the next thing I want is their office phone. Daniel, how in God's green earth would we get their office phone? I don't know, maybe LinkedIn, right? This guy here, and with this $4 million property, would not pick up his cell phone to save his life. Guess what he answered the first time during business hours? His office phone. Guess what's never on the do not call list? Office phone. You getting this? Good, right? Now, next, we've got his LinkedIn and his Facebook. So looks like Sandra's popping in there. So if you have your list here and you upload this to your CRM, you can actually have a field for the LinkedIn. So what if right before you call, you click, this is the actual homeowner's LinkedIn. Oh yeah, Daniel said click on these connection things. Okay, what do I got? Well, this agent that I worked with had one person in common. Excuse me. Don't travel right now if you don't have to, man. These planes are, right? It's like, because I saw this girl and I'm like, she's not even real. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm kidding. I wasn't on that flight. Okay, one of you thought it was funny. That person's not even real. Okay, all right. But seriously, so this $4 million house, he knew somebody that worked at JP Morgan or Chase or Wells Fargo that knew the homeowner. Wouldn't you rather have your buddy that works in banking introduce you than cold call this one? I would, right? Okay, so let's crescendo this. So here's what we got. We've got a dirty list, right, of a great leads that we clean up, okay? So from here, what we're gonna do, just updated. Again, you said you want to get homeowners to call you. Daniel, you promised homeowners are gonna call us. Yes, we can do that. We're gonna hit that next. So my buddy sells elevators in Phoenix. He's cleaning up. He's not selling to celebrities or rappers. He's selling to baby boomers down, right? But I think that personally, don't you think that most people would rather downsize than cut a hole in their house? I think so. Although some do want to stay and cut the hole in their house, you know, but he had some similar marketing. So I tried it. So we sent an email, sick of stairs, considering downsizing. If you sent that to the 40, 50, 60,000 people in your market with no mortgage, 2 stories, lived there 30 years, 2 people in a 5-bedroom, about half of them will open it. So first of all, who'd like to have 20 or 30,000 baby boomers see? Yeah, right. The people that are selling cash, buying cash. Exactly. Now that's not the best one. Actually, the best converting one at this time is actually this one, right? They love the puppy. Okay. Some people are like, that's not professional. I'm like, well, if that gets you a listing and 2 transactions, you better Google the definition of professional, because I'm pretty sure that would be. Okay. That works good. Now, expireds. There's about 2,000, Kevin, about 2,000 in Miami-Dade in the last 12, 14 months, give or take. Yeah, ballpark. Now, nobody wants to call all 2,000. What if you send an email like this and got a response like this? This was a $1.7 million listing appointment from an expired off an email blast. Would that be cool? Okay, so reach out. There's still opportunity in the expireds, especially the 1 or 2 that have assumable mortgages. Anybody want to help people that want to get rid of absentee owners, investors want to offload property? We've got some strategies for that. And then, like I said, we're gonna do the crescendo. Here we go. So I didn't used to like land until my buddy's like, yeah, Daniel, I made $750K commission on my last. I was like, maybe I'll look at land. Okay, there is opportunity there. Now, the email that we send to attorneys, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you implement. This is one of those times when you don't want to do the keeping it real goes bad Dave Chappelle skit. Okay, but we do have an email here. What we do is I spent months identifying and interviewing attorneys. I said, what are your biggest pain points? The 3 that kept coming up were this agent overpriced the property, became expired. That's not good. They can't finish their probate or divorce. Number 2 was, like somebody died, Daniel. As you can imagine, the house doesn't look great. And they took an iPhone photo from inside their car. You think I'm kidding. This is what's happening out here. There's 1 or 2 attorneys in the world that actually through the court system, they use Zestimates. I'm not kidding. Just providing a CMA can get you in the door. Like, hey, you need help with anything? Also, as AJ said, you can get paid as an expert witness, and they are paid pretty well. The 3rd pain point was, hold on. Okay, it's been, all right. Yeah, okay. My agent won't call me back, like we said in the beginning. So if you can pick up the phone, if you know how to properly do a CMA, and you're willing to like actually get a property ready to show, a lot of attorneys will work with you. Everybody here do that? Of course. You're hanging out with Kevin at the YPN, right? Of course you can. Now, you will literally get replies like these here from attorneys and calls from them wanting to meet with you, which I think is pretty fantastic. Again, I'd be happy to help. Just feel free to reach out to me. We have like hundreds of these. Okay. Now we're going to land the airplane here. Okay. So let's bring this all back together. Oh, I promised you information, the most valuable commodity. Now, if you send an email to 1,000 people, will some reply? Yeah. Will 1 or 2 be Karens? Yeah, I can't really stop that. That's gonna happen. That's life. Okay. Will some of them call you or reply? 100%. Now, what about the other 500? What if 500-600 people open this email? If somebody opened it 37 times, it's another agent trying to figure out what you're doing every single time. I kid you not. Now, if they opened it 4 to 16 times, I know myself, maybe I'm speaking for Kevin. Kevin, we don't open our emails 4 to 16 times. We're lucky to open it once, right? You're like, we got stuff going on. If you send a baby boomer email or an expired email or something, and somebody opens it 4 to 16 times, that means they're highly interested in whatever you sent them. And they've seen your face 4 to 16 times. When you call those, first of all, it's less of a cold call, right? And they are way more likely to set a meeting and do business with you. So let's land the airplane here. Third secret is, look, this all needs to be easy to execute, okay? Because I know that we've thrown a lot up here today. So here's what we got. There's 3 options. One is do it yourself, okay? But you still pay with time and you pay with lost revenue, which stinks. 2 is done with you, which I'm kind of a bit biased, but I'm a fan of how I saved 17 years on that one thing, you know, with Tony. And then 3rd, the most expensive, is done for you. Okay, so it's up to you in life, but those are your 3 options. So let's land the airplane here. Let's bring all this training into one slide. I only want to talk to people that need or want to sell their homes. Yes? Right? Don't throw darts at a board. Now, from there, if we do some email marketing, I mean, email marketing is less expensive than direct mail. 50,000 emails won't cost you that much money. 50,000 pieces of direct mail, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 grand, depending, right? Some direct mail pieces still work. There's printers now that'll write, you know, hand write your letters out, which is nice. Video marketing, if you're not ready to do video, at least get some of your clients to do video. I can show you how most of them will make a video for you. You just have to ask at the right time. Now, what if somebody needs or wants to sell, opens your email? What if you also have the Monica Rachel thing where you're connected on LinkedIn? Would anybody pick up these calls or maybe even make a few outbound of these calls? I think so, right? Okay. So here, we'll land the airplane with these 2 things here. Let's go back to Mike Chow. Mike Chow is, he creates what I call a raving fan experience. Does anybody know who Steve Wynn is? He built the Bellagio, the Wynn, the Encore. Is that ringing a bell? Many of the most great casinos in the world. I think you'll like this story. So Steve Wynn has a story of somebody who, husband and wife, they drove in from Southern California to Las Vegas. Anybody ever make that? It's a pretty fun drive. I don't know if you've ever made it. And they got there. Unfortunately, the husband had diabetes and they forgot their insulin. I don't know. Does anybody have, know somebody with diabetes? Or if you don't have your insulin, you can die potentially. Yes. Okay. Kind of a big deal. They're ready to go home. Now, Javier at the Wynn, it was the Wynn or the Encore. He's got this Steve Wynn idea of raving fan customer service, client service. So he said, husband, he said, do you 2 have a housekeeper in Southern California? They said, we do. He said, listen, my brother lives there. It was about 6:30 p.m. He said, when do you need your next dose of insulin? They said by 8 a.m. He's like, I'll have it here by 7:30 a.m. Had his brother meet the housekeeper, got the insulin. They must have a cousin with a hypercar, Fast and Furious car. I don't know. Got it there by 8 a.m. Okay. So, like, do you think the next time that couple goes to Las Vegas, they're going to think about staying at a Steve Wynn property? Right. I think that's creating a raving fan client. Let's juxtaposition that to the agent that won't pick up the phone. You see the imbalance here? You give a raving client experience. That's one thing that can separate you in this market, affecting how people feel. One person, the right person, can open their Rolodex and completely radically change your business. Okay. So Mike Chow and I, that's something we both work on. Listen, we not only are clients, we're actually friends now. So I helped him get 25 video reviews, and they say the more you give, the more you receive. Mike and his team actually shot me a video review. Can I show it really quick and we'll land the airplane? Now, when you watch this, I don't want you to think how cool it is for me. I want you to think how cool it's going to be when you have some of these, but we'll play it really quick and we'll land the airplane.
Hey, this is Mike Chow with the Mike Chow team at Keller Williams. Honestly, we get calls all the time for coaches and trainers and leads, marketing. Like, we get a bunch of calls every single day. Okay, my biggest fear is that the coaches are not going to add any value. They're going to overpromise and underdeliver. Working with Daniel has been fantastic. He goes like above and beyond for not just the team, but every individual on the team. And I think Cece, Sabrina, Annie, Charlene, Kevin, Christine, you guys can attest to that, because he calls you like way more than that was whatever was stated on the contract. I'm not saying he's going to do that for everybody, but I'm just saying he went above and beyond, and he's still doing that today. We talked about mostly using LinkedIn, but we lead generated. So a lot of coaches, they just they're just kind of coaching you and how to do it, but we're actually doing it as a team. With Daniel, we created some email marketing campaigns that were effective. We actually did some lead generation and prospecting. We got introductions to probate, estate, and divorce attorneys. Helped us solve some of the biggest problems in our business. We're working towards exponential results. Yeah, we plan to break records in 2023.
Are you ready to get exponential?
So like, I'm so grateful that I met Mike Chow and his team. And anytime I'm in Southern California, I know I've got a friend and a client, and we'll go out and have some fun and have some dinner. I've referred him agents for his team, referred each other business, and there's agents all over the country that know this guy. You can look up Mike Chow. He's really cool. So I'll land the airplane with this. Listen, create raving client experiences, like Steve Wynn would say. And again, all the bonus gifts here, let me just cue that up. Anything we talked about today, or any gifts that aren't here, I'll see what I can hook you up with, because I appreciate Kevin. But I'll land the airplane with this. Look, 1% improvement per day can literally get you exponential results in your business and life. My name is Daniel Fleischman. It's Exponential Business Coaching. The training is Exponential Real Estate Results. Keep getting 1% better every day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
We appreciate you, Daniel, man. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Guys, there's a lot here today. Daniel's not telling you to do it all at once, just 1% at a time. And what was it? 3,800% by the end of the year. So,
yeah.
Honestly, take one thing now, keep incrementally adding it on as we go along, provide that value, and we'll be an unstoppable force with Miami YPN. We're here for you. And so is Daniel. So, anything you guys need, you know how to contact me. You guys now know how to contact Daniel. Let's go out, take the world by the large ocean. I don't know what to say there. And let's get things done. So, guys, be great. We'll see you next Wednesday. We have a class all about short-term rentals, which is obviously another lucrative thing that we do here. And hey, listen, there's a lot of Airbnbs out there. I think you could even use Daniel's strategy today to get some of those investors to unload some of those properties. So we won't tie it all together, but you could learn about short-term rentals and then figure out how to use some of these strategies to maybe convert some of those short-term rentals into lifetime homes for people, or more short-term rentals. It doesn't really matter. But a lot of great information. We'll be sending you the playback. If anybody requests to record it internally, I'm sorry. I will do the editing and everything else, and I'll get that link to you. And Daniel, if you have any other resources you want to send with that email blast, email me. I'll include it with that email.
You got it. Yeah.
You guys know how to get a hold of him. He obviously provides a lot of value. He's going to teach you how to provide a lot of value as well, which will in turn bring you a bunch of raving fans. So everybody go out there, be great, get 1% better, and we'll see you next week at the next class. Be great, everyone.
If I'm on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? If I'm on my way home, yeah. If I'm on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me?